Hello, welcome into this episode of CCS. And in this episode, we are going to look at an option whereby we can study or we can learn, lavish our Microsoft learning path without any cost after our free subscription must have expired. If you are following this channel, you will notice that I've already dropped a video regarding how to create an Azure account and having a free subscription. And that free subscription, it lasts for 30 days. After the 30 days of free subscription that Microsoft has provided you to kind of start learning Azure, you can also lavish what is known as Sandbox, studying without any cost. Microsoft, those exercises that you're going to have that requires you to kind of deploy resources in Azure account and all of that, you would deploy them without any cost on you. The only thing is, follow this video to the end. You're going to understand why I titled this as Learning Azure Without Cost. Now, we are going to explore the free sandbox offered by Microsoft. So this free sandbox is offered by Microsoft to continue learning Azure without paying for resources after your free subscription has expired. Now, Microsoft Free Sandbox, what is all about? It is some tutorials include exercises that activate the sandbox for a limited time. You need to select from variety of concise and informative tutorials. Then you can access the sandbox through Microsoft Learn for you to gain the free subscription of Microsoft Sandbox. And then explore and learn how to use Azure without including any financial cost after gaining your account. We are going to create an account subsequently. And then again, Sandbox is a free resource, it's a free resources given to you by Microsoft in order for you to learn, continue learning Microsoft resources or Azure resources. Some limitations that include Sandbox. We have some limitations, and this limitation is what? We have here, the very first one, we're talking about resources created in Sandbox will be deleted after 2 hours or Sandbox expiration time. I just give an example of 2 hours here. Your Sandbox can last for 4 hours or more, depending on the kind of resources that you're supposed to create. It can equally last for less than 2 hours. So avoid creating anything you want to keep in a long time in the Sandbox. So then you should create any resources you are creating. Do not expect that resource to come back tomorrow in that or any other time to log back into your account to see that resource if you're using Sandbox. So it will be deleted. So activating Sandbox. How can we activate Sandbox for us to utilize? Access your Azure portal and start working with Azure through Microsoft Learn, right? If you want to log into your account, if you log into your Azure account or Azure portal, you'll not be able to access it from there. You need to go through Microsoft Learn to access those materials or those learning course that you want to activate Sandbox on. And not all of those learning materials, it will require Sandbox. Some of them, they are just informative. Sign in with your Azure account and email password. Complete the activation process. So now some other limitation and opportunities. However, it provides a valuable risk-free opportunities to learn Azure for free. Certain services may have restrictions in Sandbox. There are some certain services that you might not be able to create using Sandbox. Now, let's get into tutorials in order to get our Sandbox account activated. Now, when you get to your to the browser, you type in Microsoft Learn. See, I have that open up here. Microsoft Learn, and then you go to Training Microsoft Learn. Click on that. At this point, we want to create our Microsoft account so that we will have access to those Microsoft courses. You come over here, you click on Sign In. At this level, if you click on Sign In, you don't have any account as of now. You can click on Create One. When you click on Create One, you can, if you already have that, that is fine. If not, you can go ahead And I already have one though, the Azure portal that we created. We can go ahead and create and click on that. Now it says you are signed in as, so it tells you how you are being signed in. If you don't have an account, please go ahead and create one. If you have an account, just click on login. So you go next, and then it gives you the display name on your account. You go next, it gives you the email address that you have, and then you can go ahead and select your region. You can go ahead and select your region where you're signing in from. And then you go forward, or you can decide to skip that. Then if you want to, if you're going to be taking certification and all of that, it's asking here, yes, connect with certification profile if you want to. If no, you say no, not now, right? I can decide to like not now. As of now, I will just say not now. And then it gives you other informations about your profile. And then I can decide to like either if I want to go with that, I'll go with that. If not, I'll just go back to learning portal. Then if you look at it here, this is my account I'm logging in with. And at this point here now, I have successfully created my account as a beginner. And you will see some few courses here that it is random. You will now decide to filter it to which course you want. For example, let's go to browse for more. If you click on browse for more, let's type here. I'm going to go straight to some courses that it's related to Sandbox. There are many courses that will not be related to Sandbox. But we are going to just pick the one that it has Sandbox. I'm going to type here Azure Storage, Azure Storage. And then you click on enter. Let's see what we have. This is the easiest one we can equally have. Azure Storage. You see here, it says create an Azure Storage account. It says here, administrator for beginners, right? This is for beginner course. So I'm not going to advanced courses because the purpose of this is to teach you as a beginner. Now, I can decide to equally filter here. You click on Azure, you come down here, you click on administrator, or you can equally click on data administrator. It filters to specifics, right? It filters to specifics. Now you see here, there is also another course. It says configure Azure. This one is intermediate. It means there are courses, step-by-step courses that you can go in for. Now, let's click on this very first one and see if this has an exercise. If you notice that it's going to have a sandbox, you scroll down, those exercises you see here, it tells you exercise, right? It tells you here exercise. Now it means there is an exercise. Let's click straight away to this exercise environment. It will take you here and you see what it tells you here. It says, this module requires a sandbox to complete. A sandbox gives you access to Azure resources. Your Azure subscription will not be charged. The sandbox may only be used to complete training on Microsoft Learn. Use for any other reason is prohibited and may result in permanent loss of access to the sandbox. Microsoft provides this lab experience and related content for educational purpose. All presented information is owned by Microsoft and intended solely for learning about covered product and services in Microsoft Learn model. So it gives you the instructions on all what it entails. And you have many good information here as well. It gives you the step-by-step on how you can go about this, how you can create those things if you are not familiar with. Now, at this point here, it's asking for verification right here, right? So it's asking for verifications. You need to verify. Okay, let's see how we can.
Option 3.
So this is our verification process. We've verified our account right here. Now, if you look at this here, it says view permission. Here, it asks you to view permission, right? right here, it says view permission. And then when you see view permission right here, we can click on the permission options. It's going to open up for us. And then we need to accept the terms right here, permission request by Microsoft Sandbox. If you look at this here, the writings over here, it gives you the explanation right here, right? It says Microsoft Learn Sandbox and all of those things. You can read through all of them and then you click on accept. You accept your permission level right here. When you accept that, see, it's activating it. It's activating our permission, right? It says Microsoft create accounts, or it takes us back to verify again. Let's go ahead and click on verify again. And you can choose any other options, right? So now we are verifying our sandbox. We are activating our sandbox, sorry, after verifications, we are activating our sandbox. And after this activation, it's going to tell us how long it's going to last for us to utilize. And if you activate this, you don't want to use it immediately, it's not going to work. Okay, now our activations, you see, time remaining, and it's opening up our Cloud Shell interface. Now, our Cloud Share interface is already open. If you want to utilize Cloud Share, which is PowerShare in cloud, you can utilize that right here. And if you don't want this option right here, if you don't want this option right here, you can come over here, right? It is still activating. You see here, it's still activating. You can come over here, sign in to Azure portal at this. So if you click on here, it's going to take us to sign into the Azure portal. Now, it has taken us to the Azure portal. Now, what does it say here? Now, it's asking us to click to start. I want to skip all of this. I don't want to go step by step. You can now, at this point, it takes you to the tutorial. It tells you whatsoever thing you need to create. Here, what can you find here? Is this create resources? It tells you what is this, and it tells you home tab, and it walks you through the tutorial and all of those things. And it tells you where you can get whatsoever information you need to get. And here it's giving you notifications, right? Now you go further, it gives you where you can get any other informations, right? Now we are done with our setting. You can come over here, you can click on settings if you want to set up your environment for your own taste. That is perfectly well, right? You come over settings and you go to appearance and set up view. You can set up how you want your environment to look like. Let's take, for example, I want it to look like dark. I want it to like go to dockets, and then you go to dark and you scroll down. You can leave this as it is, and then you click on apply. You click on apply. Now you're going to have this interface. At this level now, you can decide to play around with your sandbox. Now, how can you know this is Azure Sandbox? If you look at my profile right here, you will see here my information is included with Azure Sandbox. And if I click on the drop down here, you see the information I'm logging with. And I can also go over here to my Microsoft account. If I click over there, one moment. It's tweets. It needs to take me to my account. So, no, this is not right. It took me to a different spot. But then I can come over here, directory and subscription. You will see here how I'm logged in. This is my account here. And then the account I'm logging with now using Sandbox. This is the account right here. You see here, it says Microsoft Sandbox, and then it gives you this information on the Sandbox subscription. This is my personal subscription, this one below. So that is how you can sign up for a Sandbox account and then you store it for free. If I come back here to this Sandbox environment, right here, you'll notice that it gives me how many minutes? It gives me 56 minutes. For me, 56 minutes remaining. It means this was for about 1 hour. This Sandbox was only available for 1 hour. So I can now follow these steps and then utilize my Azure portal to create resources to go through those step by steps. Thank you. I hope you like this and I hope you've learned something meaningful.